All right. So we are here everywhere. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Pure Sessions with your girl, Lana. Got everything loading. Okay, yes. So as you guys know, I have decided to do my show Pure Sessions with me. Hi. On Thursdays now, as you can see, at 8 o'clock. Every Thursday, Pure Sessions will be on at 8 o'clock. Instead of Sundays, as you guys know, before I was on Sundays at 6, but like I mentioned last week, I felt like with what I was trying to do with the show, I feel like there's more of a, I guess, a larger, in a way, in a sense, um, audience on Thursdays and Fridays during the week. Saturdays and Sundays kind of like a hit or miss because people are kind of like either out or winding down. So I kind of figured let me just put it like smack down in the middle of the week versus like at the end of the week when you're trying to like restart your week. So if you guys are wondering why I'm on here again, Pure Sessions is on Thursdays at 8 7 Central, Lord, 8 Eastern Standard Time, as well as on YouTube under Lana and Pure, and on Instagram at Lana and Pure's Corner, and on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, things like that. If you don't want to watch it live and you want to just listen to it on the go, whether you're jogging, in the shower, having tea, doing your errands, going to work, taking a nap, whatever the case may be, I'm everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And tomorrow, I mentioned this last week too. I'm excited. Is my first sax jam session that I'll be doing live, not online in Pure's Corner, but online in Pure's live tomorrow at 8 o'clock as well too, and on YouTube at Lana and Pure. So I'm gonna do it tomorrow, see how it goes, see how the vibe and things like that. So I'll be doing two songs, and I'll be teaching you what I know about the songs, how to read the notes, breathing techniques, and how to read the music. I'm not like a pro expert, but I kind of know how to read a couple of notes because that was the whole fun project of me doing this was, to teach myself how to play and how to read music, play the trumpet, play the sax, and things like that. So I'm excited about that. So if that goes well and the feedback is, where it should be, that will be I'll do a jam session every week on Wednesdays. Sorry, that's my phone. Wednesdays at 8. So it will be Wednesdays at 8 p.m. under Lana and Pure on Instagram and Lana and Pure on YouTube for the Sax Jam session. And Thursdays for Pure Sessions under Lana and Pure Instagram, YouTube, excuse me. And sorry, let me back up, slow down. Jam sack sessions, if it goes well tomorrow, will be every Friday at 8 on Lana and Pure Instagram and Lana and Pure YouTube. And Pure Sessions will be under Lana and Pure's Corner. There we go on Instagram and Lana and Pure on YouTube. So that's the new updates and things like that, as well as checking out my new album that I dropped a couple weeks ago, Time to Remember. I like it. Like I mentioned before, it's not as long as my last album, which was 28 songs. This one is only 12. So hopefully you guys rock with it. Like I said, it's more so for those techno, electronic, dub, house type type of flow, type of vibe, you know what I mean? So definitely check that out. But yeah, a lot of exciting things. Just want to get that PSA out, and I'm on Twitter, Line and Pure. Now I'm on TikTok. I posted a couple of things on TikTok and on here from TikTok. I kind of got hooked. I never thought I would, but they got me. They got me. So you can find me on TikTok at Line and Pure. I just post. I'm new to it, so I don't have a million views or likes or videos and things like that. I'm learning stuff like that. It's fun. I like it. It brings out my self confidence, trying those different challenges and things like that. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, so just want to give that little quick PSA. Um, but yeah, as you guys can see, I got my hair done because I was not about to go throughout this whole summer with having my hair straightened or whatnot. It's just cost too much money and it's too hot. So I decided to get these jumbo braids. I like them. Spent 5 hours getting them done, so my head is a little sore. So that's why I don't have the headphones on. So if I'm like screaming into the mic, that's why. It's just I'm winding down from the pain. But I like them. They're cute. I never really thought that I would be a braid connoisseur, but I figure with the weather and things like that, might as well try it. You can. And I do like it because it makes my face glow. And no filter, as you guys know, I normally have a filter on here or some background or some backdrop. But this is just me. I've been trying to clear my skin slowly but surely trying to clear my skin using Clearasil. And it's more of like a scrub type of thing because like I mentioned like a couple of weeks ago that I have very sensitive skin and oily skin and dry skin at the same time. I don't even understand what that means. But so I have to be very careful what I use because everything I've used outside of like Clearasil, Neutrogena kind of like dries out my skin, makes it itchy. And then the pimples and the blackheads come like on full force. So I've been trying to stick with one product because that was my thing too. I would bounce around different products because I would get frustrated because nothing was working, but I wouldn't give the product the chance and time it needed. So I've been sticking with this Clearasil scrub once a day. I use it just to try it out. Like I said, sensitive, dry, and itchy skin, and it's been working. You know, thanks a little bit stuff. I guess it has been working that I feel confident enough to not put a filter on. So yeah, but yeah, let me get into it. As you guys know, I like to ramble. So today's episode is episode 39, and this one is titled "Accepting Your Circumstances." So last week's title. I spoke myself out. Was restarting, regrouping, reflecting, starting over, recharging, especially with the long, was it been 16, 17 months we've had of this COVID thing. So you definitely need to take a day, an hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a weekend to just, restart your body, recharge your body, because everybody breaks down at some point. And sometimes if we keep going, we kind of burn out. So with this episode, I titled it Accepting Your Circumstances. And like that could mean a whole slew of things. It could be accepting your circumstances with the financial situation, or accepting your circumstances with a person, or accepting your circumstances with a job, or not getting a job, or trying to get a job, or living check by check, or being kicked out soon, or it can mean a whole different things. And sometimes I know how I am. I don't like change. I don't like when things slightly differ from what it's been what it's been doing the whole time. I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? I can't handle. But sometimes we get thrown, into these circumstances, into situations by God, to show us what we have. Like by that I mean like to show us, the strength we have, to show us the tenacious we have, the tenacity, excuse me, we have, as well as how far we'll go to either stay in where we are. Like no one wants to stay in the same situation. Again, nobody likes change. I know I don't, but sometimes it's okay to be in the spot because it's comfortable. I mentioned this too last week. We all want to be comfortable. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable if they can help it. But sometimes we get past the point of being comfortable for like the time being to just being accepting of everything and not saying a peep about anything. Then when it gets to that level, if you're just accepting everybody talking to you any kind of way, everybody disrespecting you any kind of way, everybody treating you any kind of way, then it becomes, I don't say dangerous, but it more so becomes like, what will you not allow or what will you allow? You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you get to the point where you're just accepting who somebody is, how somebody is, what they are, what they do, a situation, and you kind of just don't ever address it, it can come back later. And nine times out of 10, at least for me, it has come back full strong and it usually ends up in a blowout or argument or just a mental breakdown. And when we hold on to these things of resentment, it's a big thing. We resent things, we resent people, so we hold on to it because we rather not deal with the situation right now. We rather just be in the now, be with that person versus having to have this huge confrontation, and then it leads to either A, being alone, B, breaking up, or C, getting fired. Because sometimes we in the workplace, as females, men too, but more so females. Because I don't want to knock out the men, but more so females have to, you know, um, be quiet, keep quiet with how their male coworkers interact with each other, with them. And sometimes you just accept, boys will be boys, or you heard the boys club, but it's really not okay, no matter what club it's in, no matter what situation it's in. Sometimes when we just say, okay, well, I just got to deal with this because I need a paycheck and I have bills to pay, versus we're losing our self dignity, um, as time goes on. And again, every situation is not the same. It can be from this small to this big, but sometimes we need to set the boundaries. And that's why I had an episode titled Setting, what was it? Family Boundaries, Accepting Boundaries, or something like that. I don't remember the title. You have to set these boundaries with people, a job, coworkers, friends, relationships, because once you cross that boundary, then it becomes a level of disrespect. And then when you get to that level, there's really no turning back of you can turn back, but it gets a little tricky because you already allowed the person or people or job or whatever situation to just walk all over you and you've been okay with it. But now all of a sudden you're not okay with it. But it's like, why weren't you saying anything 2 weeks ago or 2 arguments ago? Or why weren't you saying anything last week before you got that promotion? Or, 2 months ago before he proposed? Like, like it sometimes we're kind of picky as humans. We're picky with accepting certain things and not accepting certain things, or speaking up on certain things and not speaking up on certain things. And again, certain situation, every situation is different. So I'm not like saying like, oh my God, you should always speak up. You should always, you should, but sometimes every situation is different. So you can't really speak on it until you're in the situation. Um, what is it? That's usually what I say. I try not to like judge somebody unless I walk in their shoes. I try not to to cast a stone, as they say, until you walk in their shoes, because you don't know why they are the way they are until you've been down their journey. And it took me a very long time to understand what that meant. Because I'm like, why is this person acting this way? Why is this job not working for me? Like, what is happening? But sometimes things are either placed in your life for a reason, or sometimes situations are happening for a reason to mold you into being a better person, whether we see it right away or not. But 9 times out of 10, we're kicking and screaming. But in the end, when we look back on it, we're like, oh, yeah, I remember that time when this happened. And now here I am looking back on it. So it really, like I said, it depends. It depends on the situation. It depends on the person, and it depends on what's happening around that, either before the situation or after the situation. And every situation can't be concluded in 20 minutes, or can't be fixed in a day. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes months, years. You don't know, like I said, until you're in the situation. And I don't want to sound like this is what it is, but the sooner you accept what's happening, I don't want to say like the better off you'll be, but the sooner you accept what is, I think the more at peace you'll be with things. Because if you keep trying to force it and change it and try to figure it out, yes, you can do that, and there is temporary satisfaction. But going forward, what are you going to do? Are you going to put all this effort in every single time when it's not reciprocated? Or are you just going to be like, hey, this is what it is, and we just keep it moving? Like I said, sometimes that's cool, but other times we need to not just be like, this is okay. And for me, I've tried to just accept my circumstances, because I've been trying to change, the job, trying to change the living situation, trying to change the relationship situation. And after a while, I'm just like, I have no control over it. It's not up to me what I want, who I want, when I want it. It's just, it happens in due time. It happens in due season. It happens when it happens. So the minute we stop trying to force things to like jump forward, skip the chapters, skip the seasons, I feel like the minute things, become a little clearer, you know what I mean? Like things become for you, like a purpose for you. Like everybody has something, everybody has this purpose. And the minute we stop trying to be like, oh, I need to change this, if I alter this, if I do this, and this person will stay, or if I do this or accept that, then I'll get this bonus. But it all can't work that way, unfortunately. Sometimes we just have to just roll with the punches, or sometimes we just have to just sit in the corner, be quiet, and wait till it's our turn. Unfortunately, not that we always want to do that, but sometimes that is just, really what it is. But like I said in the beginning of this episode, not everybody likes change. I know I don't. Sometimes change is good, but sometimes change isn't. It isn't needed for every situation. Like, more so it can just be solved with communication, or more so it can just be solved with just listening. You don't have to speak, you don't have to respond. Just listening to a person, listening to a situation, listening to whatever it is, really can go a long way to solving things, either in the present or down the line. But I feel like the minute we try to be like, well, I'm not doing this if they don't do this, or that tit for tat, that back and forth, I feel like it doesn't really, doesn't really solve much, because all we're doing is just waiting for the other person, or waiting for the situation to get better, where we can just fix it ourselves. Now, again, if you can't do anything about a situation, that's different. But I mean, I'm talking about the situations that you can't control, because everybody has a situation that they can't control, whether it be comfortable or not comfortable. But I feel like if there is a situation that you can control and change or alter or fix or walk away from or step away from, then why not do it? Why would you want to not be miserable, but why would you want to stay in something that's not benefiting you in any way, shape, or form? Why would you want to just be around the person, be around the aura, be around their vibe? For what? Just to have the company. Like I said, it's temporary company. It's not that long lasting, Martin and Gina type of company. It's more so just just for the here and now. But I feel like that doesn't last. We want it to. We try so hard. We really want it to. But 9 times out of 10, it's just like, man, if I did this differently, this would have happened. Or if I did that differently, this would have happened. But I feel like nobody really wants to put the work in. They kind of just want to just like let it fall into your lap and let it happen, which is cool. It's cool to just have things just fall in your lap and everything be great. But sometimes we have to work on the what is it, the time frame or the time space of our life for the season, because everything can't just be what it is, if that makes sense. I know it's weird when you hear accepting your circumstances. Like I said, that can mean a slew of things, but I feel like when we understand people, that's the thing. You have to understand people. Everybody isn't you. You're not dating yourself. You're not talking to yourself. You're not working with yourself. Unless you're working for yourself or being your own entrepreneur. That's different. But everybody's aura is different. Everybody's heart posture is completely different. Everybody's energy is on a bazillion different levels. And it would be great if everybody moved like this, but that'd be kind of boring, right? You want some up and downs, you want some hiccups, you want some back and forths, conversations, things, situations. You want some rocky roads. But if you can't accept the person or accept the situation after you already said you accept the situation or accept the person, then what's the point of staying if you're just going to be mad and upset about it or wondering why things won't change or why you seem to still be stuck in this one position and you're not moving up, or why it seems like you're sending out a million resumes and a million job interviews, but yet nobody's calling you back. But it's like, what are you doing to change that? Because if the same way you're going about it and the same route you're doing it is not working, then I think something has to change. It really comes down to, are you willing to go that extra step, go that extra level to make that change for your life, for your benefit? Again, it's not about you, but it's about your happiness, your health, your sanity, all that jazz. It can't just be for everybody just to please everybody. Again, that's where that temporary happiness comes into play. It's, what are you willing to do to get that long lasting satisfaction, not that just instant gratification, but like that long lasting satisfaction. I feel like sometimes we're just prone to just be like, okay, if I don't do this much work, then this won't happen. But if I do just enough, then this will happen. But it's like, where will it end? Where does it end? It's always just going to be just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. Or is more so just going to be like, I'm going to go this 80-mile dash or 50-mile dash or whatever you want to call it and put all this out there and do this. Now, what are you going to do with it? That's kind of the way you got to really go about things. And I feel like when we understand that we can change things, we can alter things, we can move things around to work in our favor, not in a vindictive way, but just a way that's beneficial to us, the person, you, and helps you grow and move and thrive, then really what's the harm in that? Because oftentimes we're more so just being like, well, let's just go with the flow. And I'm a go with the flow type of person, but certain things need that extra, oomph, the extra, you know what I mean? So I feel like the minute we do that, it's like, okay, this isn't so bad, or okay, I can deal with this. And I don't know, for me, it's just more so like, how much energy or how much effort am I willing to put into this thing to not make this work, but make this a long going thing, And once we feel like we can accept that person, accept the situation, or accept where we are in life and be okay with that, then that's a whole different thing. That's a whole beautiful thing. Once you're okay with who you are, where you are, and what you're doing, then that's nothing else matters. You're happy with yourself, you're happy with your life, your choices, and things like that. The people you surround yourself with, people you don't surround yourself with. And I feel like that's just like a beautiful thing when you can just get that, okay, everything kind of like falls into place. Everything kind of like meshes. Everything kind of like clicks. And I feel like once we start doing that, I feel like everything else will just either fall by the wayside or come together. Because like I said, life does not need to be complicated. We just make it, People make it complicated. It doesn't have to be, but people make it complicated. And I feel like, I don't know, the minute we stop searching and searching and searching and trying and trying and trying, then I feel like, okay, this can work. And okay, that makes sense. And okay, this works for me. Versus just like, man, I wish I was here. I wish I was there, but not changing anything about it, changing what's happening, changing, what's in front of you. If that makes sense. I don't know. It's a tricky thing. Like I said, everybody moves differently, everybody grooves differently. But I also want to mention, I think I mentioned it last week or 2 weeks ago, that I have been trying to now that things are kind of opening up more, so trying to do Zooms and things like that, get other people on the show, so it's not just me chatting over and over again. I will be, by the way, on Therapy Without a Degree. Shout out to Therapy Without a Degree on Monday at 3:30 on their show. I don't know the topic yet, but I'll be on their show, be live, so I'll definitely be um, posting that later in the week of that week. But I'm excited about that. Like I said, I'm trying to talk with other people, get to know their perspective on things. Like I said, I know other people have been doing the podcast and entrepreneurship and building the brand, networking a little bit longer than I have. So I'm trying to learn from them and see what I can find and dabble off of that. Because like I said, everybody has something to give. Everybody has something that you can learn from, whether it's art, culture, design, fashion, business, wealth management, whatever the case may be. Everybody has something to contribute to the table, as long as you're willing, and willing to listen and accept it and grow from it, not just take their ideas and just not do anything with it. But if they're giving you, people who have been doing it a little bit longer than you have, sound advice and things to help your brand, your network, your energy, then why not want to like receive that? Sometimes we're so prone to being like rejecting everybody else's opinion because it feels like they're crushing our dreams or stomping on our hearts or stomping on our vision. But sometimes it's more so they just want to help because they have, you know 2 cents, or what is it, they have fresh eyes to look at on the situation. So I've been learning to, because I've never been one to accept criticism or accept people saying something that I don't like and not like freaking out. But I've been trying to, you know, get better at understanding that, like I said, I don't know everything, even though I think I do. I can't see the future, even though I wish I could. But it's okay to, ask for help. It's okay to have somebody, look out for you when they can. Nothing wrong with having that helping hand when you need it the most. I feel like, you know what I mean. So yeah, this episode is going to be. I'm not gonna make this one too long because, like I said, I just wanted to come on here, with my 2 cents and just give what I can, my perspective on, circumstances, life, things like that, journeys like that. I've been trying to get myself to not make these episodes so long. I don't mind. Like I said, certain episodes kind of get a little bit longer than normal, but some episodes I'm trying to get down to under 40 minutes because I feel like once it gets past that 30-35 mark, people kind of like tune out because like, what are you really saying? Unless it's something that like resonates with you at the moment, or like you need to hear this, and that's fine. I don't mind talking for as long as I can. But sometimes when it is just hitting it right on the nail, sometimes less is more, because people are like not getting what you're saying, but it's more so like you made the point to now let the people, what is it, mull over it and kind of like just let it wash over them versus giving them so much information. They're like, wait, go back, what happened there, what happened, what she say? So I'm trying to get under 40 minutes. This episode might be maybe under 30. I'm trying, we'll see. But yeah, I don't mind. Another thing is I try to, when it's not too many people on Instagram at the time, because I've been trying to, like I mentioned last week, I work with Joe Figurino, who's does the Everybody Degree, and he's like my branding coach manager in a way. And he mentioned that the reason why I changed it to Thursdays from Sundays, the show, is there's certain times to post things, certain times to have live, certain times to do this and that. So that's the reason why I moved it from Sunday at 6 to Thursday at 8, because it's kind of like that winding down time. You're kind of scrolling through your phone either before or after dinner. And I feel like it's like not before COVID, but if I was doing this before COVID, Thursday evening now, because early summer is kind of like right before people going out, right before, things get popping. And now that things are open, I know the weekends will kind of be a little bit busy. So I try to make this not so long. And again, like I said, it really depends on the topic. It really depends on like what you're talking about and things like that. So I try to make it, what is it, as informational, says even a word, as possible, but not too much where you're just like, what are you talking about? So yeah, but I don't know, I feel like if you don't leave with anything but this, I feel once you start accepting your circumstances and being okay with it and understanding that this is what it is, but you do have the power to change it, you do have the power to alter it, you do have the power to make moves during what's happening, not just stew in it, not just wonder why is this happening to me and feeling sorry for yourself. You have the right to do that and feel that way, but not forever. It's time after a minute to get up and keep moving so you're not there forever, because nobody, like I said, wants to be A, uncomfortable, or B, stagnant. If we can help it. Sometimes things just happen and it just happens. But if you want to move, if you want to groove, if you want to grow and build yourself up, your confidence, your brand, your network with your artist, a singer, a rapper, a dancer, a designer, whatever it is, entrepreneur, you want to do something about it. If you have visions, if you have dreams, if you have insights, things like that. Dreams don't happen unless you, what is the quote I said earlier? I said, what did I say? Dreams don't work unless you do. I'll say that again. Dreams don't work unless you do. And one more time for the Holy Ghost. Dreams don't work unless you do. Sometimes you just have to pull your sleeves up and get in the grit and just work. Work for what you want. Work for what you need. Work for what you want to established. And that's why I mentioned last week. I'm sorry, restart was 2 weeks, but last week was leaving a legacy. What legacy do you want to leave on this mark? What do you want people to say about you when they look you up, when they talk about you, when your name comes up? What is it that you want behind that? Like, what do you want to say? Let's say, for example, what is it that you want to say on your statue? That you were a hard worker, that you were an entrepreneur, that you found a cure. What is it that you want to leave your mark on society for the next generation, so they have something to look up and strive to, and be like, hey, I want to be like her, or be like him, or be like them. You never know. So what is it that you want your mark to be? And at the same time, if you're okay with being just where you are, then cool, accept circumstances and keep moving. But if you aren't okay with it, then do something about it, not just talk about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys, that's it. I'm gonna wrap this up. Like I said, this was a little short, little quick, like blap blap. So yeah, but yeah, guys, that's about it. I hope you guys are enjoying this weather. I'm not, but I have my braids now, so I don't mind. But I'm not really like, I'm a summer baby because I'm a Leo, but I'm not like that 95, 97-degree weather type girl because it's just like humid and there's no breeze. I'm not that. I'm like a 60, 66 with a breeze and a cloud type of girl, and a nice little wind and leaves falling. That's why autumn's my favorite season. Don't mind me, apple picking, strawberry picking, pumpkin pies, pumpkin spice lattes, things like that. Don't mind me. But yeah, but I am on, where am I? Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok now, Facebook, I think, Snapchat, all on in Pure SoundCloud. Forgot about that. So the podcast audio version of the video, like this live, but the podcast audio version is on SoundCloud under Line and Pure, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google Play, was it Beaker, Pocket Tune, wherever you get your podcast, I'm there. Line and Pure, same picture as Line and Pure's corner, so you'll find me. And again, it is on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Every Thursday, but every Sunday, every Thursday 8 p.m. for Pure Sessions. But yes, guys, if you can tune in tomorrow, Friday, at 6 p.m. live on Line and Pure and Instagram, Line and Pure and YouTube. Definitely check out my jam sack session. I'll be playing Ain't No Sunshine and Stand By Me. And I'll be teaching, the breathing techniques, what I know, few notes, what I know, and kind of reading the music. I've kind of got these, I know about 10 songs so far, but I kind of got these 2 songs like in the bag. So I'm really excited about this. I hope you guys can join me tomorrow. But yes, I hope you guys had a great week and a safe Memorial. I know I said that last week. I don't remember if I said it 2 weeks ago, but I hope you guys are enjoying your day. I love, love, love. You can't see from my room, but I love that it's still light out at 8:30. It's amazing. I can't wait for it to be 9 o'clock and it's still light out so I can go catch, some fireflies and things like that. But I hope you guys really have a blessed week, had a blessed week, and enjoy the rest of your week. And I always say to do something today that you didn't do the day before. Oh, last thing, be blessed, stay blessed, be wise, and be kind. Peace.